My coworker sabotaged my project to get my promotion, so I let her take over my impossible client. Yesterday, she was fired after losing our firm's largest account, the same toxic client I'd spent 3 years managing with a smile while secretly documenting every unreasonable demand. I met Rebecca on my first day at Mitchell & Gray Pure. She had the corner office designer wardrobe and that particular brand of corporate confidence that comes from being the CEO's goddaughter. I was assigned to assist her with the agency's biggest client, Pharmatech Underseas, a pharmaceutical giant with a $3 million annual retainer. "Welcome to hell," Rebecca whispered during my orientation. "He's impossible to please and knows he's too valuable to fire." She wasn't exaggerating. Martin would call at 3 a.m., demanding complete campaign rewrites by 7 a.m. He'd scream about font choices in meetings, then change his mind 3 times before approving anything. He routinely reduced junior staff to tears. After 6 months, Rebecca orchestrated a lateral move to a different department, leaving me alone with Martin. "Consider it a growth opportunity," she said with a smirk. For 3 years, I weathered Martin's storms. I developed systems to manage his chaos, detailed documentation of every conversation, confirmation emails after verbal instructions, and, most importantly, a comprehensive record of his contradictory demands and abusive behavior. When our CEO announced his retirement, a director position opened up, overseeing all healthcare accounts, including Pharmatech. Despite handling Martin successfully for years, the promotion seemed destined for Rebecca. She had connection, seniority, and wasn't tied to a single difficult client. 2 weeks before the final decision, I presented my biggest campaign for Pharmatech, a patient advocacy initiative I'd worked on for months. The morning of my presentation, my files wouldn't open. The backup was corrupted too. Our IT department found evidence someone had accessed my computer overnight. Security footage showed Rebecca entering the office at 1 a.m. When confronted by HR, she claimed she'd forgotten her purse. There wasn't enough proof to fire her, but I lost my shot at the presentation, and likely the promotion. That night, I drafted 2 emails. The first went to our CL requesting a meeting about Martin Phillips. The second went to Rebecca. "Congrats on sabotaging my presentation. As you are clearly desperate for the director role, I've recommended you take over the Pharmatech account effective immediately. Best of luck." In our meeting, I showed the CEO my 3 years of documentation, Martin's abusive calls, impossible deadlines, and contradictory feedback that made success virtually impossible. I explained that I'd been protecting junior staff by handling him personally, but I couldn't continue if I wasn't valued by the firm. "You've been managing this alone?" he asked. "Why didn't you say something sooner?" "I wanted to prove myself," I admitted, "but now I realize I've just been enabling bad behavior, both Martin's and the firm's." The CEO nodded slowly. "What do you want? A different department, away from healthcare, and Rebecca can have Pharmatech." The next day, Rebecca practically skipped into Martin's quarterly review meeting. By afternoon, she was in tears in the break room. By the end of the week, she'd missed 2 deadlines, and Martin was threatening to pull the account yesterday. Martin called our CEO directly, demanding Rebecca be removed. When the CEO suggested they might not be a good fit for Pharmatech anymore, Martin exploded with the same verbal abuse I'd documented for years. Our CEO ended the call and terminated our contract with Pharmatech. Then he called Rebecca into his office and fired her for losing our biggest client. This morning, I received an offer for the new creative director position with a salary higher than the healthcare role I'd originally wanted. Some people climb the corporate ladder, others set fire to it while you are halfway up, but sometimes you can just step aside and watch them burn themselves.